have everyone's attention? My name is John Stephen, Executive Council for this district. So proud to be here tonight. First, before we start, can everyone start coming down in the center here? I really appreciate that. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please remove your caps and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. USA! So, I want to just say a few things here. I'm going to have the privilege to introduce two of my friends and two very important people in this state. And I'm proud to be here to make those introductions. But I'll say this, that first, Jay has a special announcement tonight. I don't know what it is, but we're going to hear. And we're all pretty happy to hear that. But you know, the last 6 years in this city, this great city that I grew up in, there's been some major issues and problems. We're heading in the wrong direction. And after this last election, you all spoke, and boy, did we see a change in the city of Manchester. And we have someone today. I can tell you, I knew Jay was going to be special when my dad, Bobby Stephen, who's a Democrat, many of you know, never has publicly endorsed a Republican candidate. Came out, not even me, came out and endorsed Jay Ruais. That told me something, that this man was a special person. And sure, the voters thought so as well. And we're all very happy for that. I also know that Jay is very strong on something that I know the governor and myself care deeply about, and that's public safety, fire, police, EMS. And boy, Jay's done a great job in making sure he protects this city from public safety with great resources. Thank you. And we also know, a lot of us here care deeply about the taxes of this city. So do I as a taxpayer. And Jay has held the line, and he's kept the tax cap in line, and he'll continue to be fiscally responsible. And we have someone fighting for the taxpayers once and for all. And the final thing is, and I know in conjunction with the governor, working hand in hand, Jay was at the legislature this week testifying to make sure violent criminals stay behind bars. Thank you. Thank you. So I have the privilege and honor to introduce a very close friend of mine I've worked closely for a number of years with, who in the past election we all saw her message, and we now have a governor that cares deeply about this state. And it doesn't matter if you wear an R, D, or an I. It's all about this state, and it's about this city, too. And I know when I worked with Governor Ayotte, when I was at the Attorney General's office, and when Governor Ayotte came to the Attorney General's office, and she fought to make sure Michael Addison was put away for life without parole. Thank you, Kelly. And I knew that the Kelly Ayotte that a lot of people saw. And then when I worked with her as HHS commissioner on a methamphetamine task force that we headed up, making sure that drugs are eradicated and people are not getting the type of supply of methamphetamine that other states across this country have seen. It's been a disaster for many states, but not in New Hampshire, a lot because of Kelly Ayotte and her leadership. I could go on, but I'm just so excited to have two people here that care so deeply about this state, community, and the city of Manchester. So I know you're all here to welcome the governor. Please join me in welcoming Governor Kelly Ayotte. Thank you, Kelly. It's good to see you.
Well, let me thank John Stephen. I was so excited, number one, to be on the campaign trail with John, that he was willing to step up and run for executive council because he brings so much phenomenal experience to the council. And you want to talk about someone who's knows about New Hampshire, how to keep New Hampshire safe, knows how to watch out for taxpayers. Having him at that council table, it's so, so important. So I am just thrilled to have John Stephen as an executive counsel. He's a great friend. He's a great friend, a great patriot, and really, you couldn't have sent anyone better to work with me on all the fiscal issues that the state is facing and making sure that we have taxpayers first. And speaking of that, I feel like being on this stage is wild for me, because when I announced that I was going to run for governor, it was right here. And I actually think Al Fleury and the owner of the goat, love the goat, but I will actually say that I think that Jay may have a bigger crowd here tonight. I'm so impressed with this crowd. I know the people that are in this crowd, and I know how much you care about Manchester. I know how much you care about our state, and I think it's really good luck, because I had a pretty good election result, that we are here tonight for Mayor Ruais, because it is so important that we keep Jay leading this city. And this city is a great city. Manchester is a great city. And I had the opportunity, unfortunately, to be here in some of the darkest moments, as John referenced, where a police officer, Mike Briggs, was killed in the line of duty. But their police department, phenomenal police department. Their first responders in this city, the police, the fire, they do a great job. And they have a mayor now who fully supports giving them the tools that they need to keep this city safe, to make sure that collectively we can address the homeless issue and the challenges that has faced for this city and for downtown business owners. And if you think about, if you want to know where the mayor's priorities are, he does double duty. He also serves in the National Guard. But his effort right now to start with getting our veterans off the street, and it's amazing. It's amazing. And he's doing it. Jay is getting results for this city. He is turning around the city in a way that this city will shine. It shines, and Manchester's best days are ahead of it, because Jay's focusing on public safety. I was so grateful that he did come to the legislature yesterday and testify on changing the bail law back to where it should be to protect the people of this city. We gotta do it. He's already testified on tougher penalties for drug dealers, which we need to protect this city. He is already moving on so many initiatives to help Manchester, to protect this city, on housing, to build more housing for the people, to grow Manchester, grow its economy, to support our small businesses. And I couldn't be prouder to be a partner with Mayor Ruais, who is phenomenal. So I'm so glad that all of you are here tonight for this important election. And I'm confident that if we all work together, that Manchester is just going to keep going like this. If we have the right leaders, I know there's some great members of the Board of Aldermen who are in this room who work with the mayor, and I want to thank them as well, because we need to keep that team together for this city. So my honor tonight is really just to say, to introduce our guest of honor, the great mayor of this city. And I'm going to ask you to please do everything you can. Talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to people that sometimes don't get out and vote, and tell them they need to vote. in this re-election for Mayor Jay Ruais, because we need him. And I'm so honored to introduce a great person, great human being, serves our country, served this city so well, Mayor Jay Ruais.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Holy smokes. Let me start by thanking Executive Councilor John Stephen. Thank you so much for being out here tonight. I can't think of a person I would rather have up in Concord, making sure that we're paying attention to those contracts and judicial appointments. I was honored to support your efforts last year and so thrilled. Please give a round of applause for John. And now I get to say the words that I've been dying to say for the last year. Thank you, Governor Kelly Ayotte. You know, as Kelly was talking about, we've already had the opportunity to work together on a couple different initiatives, and I was thrilled to see today that I believe the state Senate passed that fentanyl increase in prison time. She's already, Kelly and the legislature are already fulfilling the campaign promises that they made to us, and I could not be more thrilled on that part. Additionally, we talked about, yes, please. So it's funny, I got a call on Monday, and it was Kelly's chief of staff, and he said, hey, we need you to come up and testify tomorrow. And I said, yeah, absolutely, what do you need? And he said, we need you to come up and testify on and before he got bail reform out of his lips, I said, yes, I'm there. Anything that we can do. Because Kelly is 100% right. I'll give you a couple of quick statistics. About 1/3 of the individuals who are arrested in the city of Manchester are immediately released on PR bail. That is a disgrace, an absolute disgrace. So that it is so encouraging. It is incredible to see that the governor and the legislature are already moving on this. And I know exactly like we elected her to do, I know the governor is going to have to run back up to Concord because she is watching every dollar and cent as she's getting ready to prepare her budget. So thank you for being able to come this evening. We appreciate it. And as Kelly mentioned as well, I want to make sure I thank the aldermen that we have in the room. We have Alderman Vincent from Ward 11. Alderman Morgan from Ward 1. And Alderman Thomas from Ward 12. Nothing that I do on the Board of Mayor and Aldermen would be possible without real stalwart supporters like these individuals who are here with us tonight. And I deeply appreciate their work, and I appreciate the work of the entire board, because nothing happens without a team. So I truly appreciate it. And I also want to take a moment to thank all of you. This is so incredibly humbling to have all of you here with me. There's nothing that I could do without your support, and I certainly wouldn't be here today with a special announcement that I'll get to, but I certainly wouldn't be here today without your support, so it's truly humbling. Speaking of humbling, so this event was supposed to happen last night, and I got bumped for line dancing at the GOAT. So if that tells you anything about the cachet that I have in this town, I hope everybody had a good time last night line dancing, but I want to thank Al Fleury and the GOAT as well for putting this on. I deeply appreciate it. They always do a great job. So we've been in for about 13 months, and my wife always tells me that you have to be a man of action, not words. That when you're going to say you do, when you promise you're going to do something, when you say you're going to do something, you got to follow through and act. And that's what we've done. So a few things I just want to talk about from this year. So at the beginning of the term, one of the things that we talked about was we wanted to make sure we cracked down on public safety, right? So we immediately identified one of the programs in the city that wasn't working. We eliminated that program and took that $500,000 and transferred it to the police department so that they could do their jobs and patrol the downtown and get criminals off of our streets. And following the Supreme Court decision in the summer, we also banned camping so that we can get rid of the encampments that we were running into here in the city of Manchester. We will always support our police, our fire, and the first responders here in the city of Manchester because we know that they are true heroes and they have an extraordinarily difficult job. On homelessness, this has been one of the challenges that we've had for a number of years here in the city of Manchester, and we've taken this head on. We've implemented 15 different initiatives looking at it to deal with it from a comprehensive standpoint on enforcement, making sure that our ordinances and our laws are followed, but also making sure that we're addressing the underlying drivers of that, addiction, mental health. So I've been thrilled that in just 1 year, the overdoses in the city of Manchester have fallen by 24%, and overdose fatalities have dropped by 21%. And that's something that the city, thank you, that is something that the city should take a deep amount of pride in, working with our community partners, Greater Manchester Mental Health, working with all of the service providers in the city, working with the state of New Hampshire with the Ruais program. None of this occurs in a vacuum. This is what we talk about when we mention collaboration and communication and working together towards a common vision and a common goal. And of course, affordable housing. This is one of the things that I hear at any number of the 14 town halls that I've done since I got sworn into office. We are right now undertaking a generational opportunity to rewrite the zoning ordinances in the city of Manchester to bring more housing into our city to lower the cost of living in the city of Manchester. And we also took, at the beginning of the year, we talked about there are vacant properties sitting all over the city of Manchester. So we came up with the idea that we were going to identify those vacant properties, we were going to deem them surplus, and we were going to sell them. So that's what we did. We sold 15 different properties in the city of Manchester. We took that $1.13 million and put it into our Affordable Housing Trust Fund, which then allowed us to take $200,000 of that and work with a nonprofit to create housing for previously unhoused women. So that is what we talk about. Thank you. We have got to get creative and innovative to solve the problems that we have. There is zero reason why Manchester cannot and should not be the best mid-sized city in the United States. And we are 100% committed to making that happen. So that's a kind of a high level. Well, one other thing I would mention is one of the things that we talked about a lot, or I heard on the campaign trail last time when we knocked on 41,000 doors, was that they wanted the downtown to be clean. They wanted people to feel like it was a safe, inviting, and clean place to be. So we hired a team to come in, and it's the Street Plus team. You'll see them. They got these great blue blazers on. They walk around. They're incredibly friendly. Now they're in charge of keeping our sidewalks clean. But in just the 4 months that they've been doing this, they've already picked up over 40,000 pounds of trash just in the downtown area, removed over 800 pieces of graffiti. The list goes on and on. They've done such an amazing job to make sure that this downtown area is open for business. The one last piece that I would mention on homelessness is in September of this year, we partnered with Harbor Care. At the time, there were 47 veterans in the city of Manchester who were homeless. Entirely unacceptable condition standard that we have here in this city. So we launched an initiative that we were going to end veterans homelessness by the end of my term in 340 days, for those who are keeping track, 340 days. And in just the 4 months or so of operation, we've already housed over 30 veterans. Yeah. There are 30 veterans tonight who will go to sleep with a permanent roof over their heads because of this effort, and I'm so deeply proud of that initiative. More work remains. Speaking of more work remains, we have more work to do in this city. And I'm so proud of what we have accomplished in just the first 13 months. It's wild to me that I was getting congratulations on being sworn in as I was walking in tonight, a year in. But we know that we've accomplished a lot. I feel like we've made some good strides on some of the most important issues, but we have more work to do. So I'm incredibly enthusiastic tonight to announce that I'm going to seek re-election as mayor of Manchester. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I hope we can keep up that enthusiasm. The two more, I'm going to ask, we're going to campaign over the next year. We're going to make sure that we're getting out in front of voters. And more importantly than just talking to them about what we've accomplished, I want to hear. I want to listen to what the cares are, the concerns are. How can we work together? Republican, Democrat, Independent, how do we work together to get things solved, to get problems solved for the residents here? Because Manchester is such an extraordinarily important part of this state that when Manchester does well, New Hampshire is doing well. So I invite you to join us. This is going to be a fantastic journey. I could not be more excited to start tonight here at the GOAT. I hope the fact that we're doing it here where Kelly launched has some polish rubbing off and that we can get some success on that. But I can't do it without you. So what I'll ask tonight is that you join us on this, whether it's making a contribution, whether it's putting a sign on your lawn, whether it's coming out with me when it's raining or even when it's snowing. We'll be door knocking in another week or so. But whether it's coming out and hitting doors with us or joining us on Election Day and holding a sign, I can't do it without you. So thank you so much for coming out tonight. I truly, deeply appreciate all of your support, and I look forward to working with you in the year ahead. Thank you.